How's it going, guys? This is Mark Lopez with Fitness Revolution New Tampa, and today we're going to go ahead and get super fit. Now, before we get into any different kinds of exercise and progressions, in this video I just want to focus on a super fit warm-up. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of the motions that we do in my own gym, Fitness Revolution New Tampa, as well as what I do in my own personal workout before I start getting into all the crazy Ninja Warrior, American Ninja Warrior type stuff that we're going to get into in other videos. So, as far as warm-ups are concerned, we want to focus on a couple of things. Basically, the key components being range of motion. We want to make sure we have proper mobility, as well as just flexibility and activation of those weaker muscles. For example, if you have a desk job or anything where you're sitting down, you're not using your glutes, you're not using the back of your shoulders, so we want to make sure that those are all warmed up and proper before we get into the higher intensity things. So a couple things we want to focus on is we'll go from a joint by joint approach, and I'll point them through as we do the exercises. First off, as far as ankles are concerned, we want to make sure we have proper range of motion, so if we're doing any kind of side-to-side or movement, that they're fully warmed up. Second, we want to go in with knee stability, make sure that we're able to have stable knees for any kind of balance or anything like that. Third thing is hips, mobility. Again, just a full range of motion in our hips, and we'll go ahead and warm that out in different ways. We want to make sure we have some lumbar stability to protect our core, protect our spine, make sure that we're not pulling your lower back or anything like that. As well as lumbar mobility and shoulder mobility, we want to make sure we have a full range of motion in our shoulders before we get into high intensity stuff. So first exercise that I like to do, again, in my gym, in my own personal workouts, I just call it a thoracic spine drill. What you're going to do is get onto your knees, wet grass, onto your knees, hips are going to be back, one hand is planted on the ground, one hand's behind your ear. You're going to bring that elbow in towards one arm, and then push away from the ground as you turn and rotate as far back as you can, and repeat. So I like to do this about 10 times on each side, and the reason why I do this is as I rotate, I'm again increasing the range of motion in my thoracic spine, the upper part of my back, so I can have full range of motion when I'm doing any kind of rotational movements in that source, as well as warming up the back of my shoulders and getting those warmed up. So after I get about 10 on that, I'll move over and do 10 on the other side, same thing, turning and rotating, and notice I'm also sitting my hips back, which is locking in my lumbar spine, so I'm not rotating through my lower back and injuring that. So we just turn, rotate, push away. We'll do that, say, about 10 on each side. Next, we can go ahead and do another exercise I like to do, bird dogs. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You're going to raise one hand and kick out the opposite leg, straight line from your fingertips to your heels, and come back. So I'm improving the range of motion right here in my shoulders, as well as extending and activating my glutes right here at the same time. And again, you want to make sure we're working on lumbar and hip stability right here, trying to keep your posture tight. I'm not swaying my hips side to side, left to right. So about 10 on one side, 10 on the other, nice and steady. If you can imagine a small glass of water on the small of your back and not trying to let it spill. We'll get about 10 on that side. Next one, we'll go ahead and just work on knee stability, as well as just activating your glutes some more. We can do a single-legged reach. Stand on one leg, reach with the opposite hand. Hips back, lower back is tight, touch your toe, drive your hips forward, squeeze your glute. I'll do it from the side. Touch. Do about 10 as best as you can without dropping that one foot. And then you can switch sides whenever you're ready there. Just like that. And again, we're focusing on the knee stability so we can improve our balance. Squeezing your glutes in the back so you can activate those glutes. Another good one is the spider lunge. Push-up position, hips down, core is tight. You're going to take a big step so we really stretch out your hamstrings right here. Make sure that you're locking out your glutes, keeping that back leg straight, and you can turn and rotate towards that open knee and alternate. And again, we're just improving that range of motion in our thoracic spine, keeping your glutes tight, chest is out. We can do a couple on each side here. And the final one we'll get into for today, we call them bootstrappers. We're just going to improve again, the mobility in your hips, as well as just activate your glutes, warm up your quads. Feet are shoulder width apart, you can have your toes slightly out. Lower back is tight, you're going to reach down, knees are slightly bent, so you can get your hands right here to the insides of your feet. You're going to drop your hips as low as you can go. Elbows are to the inside, push your knees out, chest is up. And again, we're just improving that range of motion. Straighten out the legs, just breathe out as you stand. Reach, squat, straighten and stand. And you can do about 10 of those. So that is the first video. We're just going over the super fit warm-up. Stay tuned for another video. We'll get into the good stuff.